Hi, this is Dan Lietha for Reasons for Hope, and today's Friday cartooning lessons live. It's off to an interesting start. Um, we have a big thunderstorm right over the top of us right now. I don't know how big in scope it is, but just like a minute and a half before I was supposed to go live, we had a lightning bolt hit really close, and it was a huge boom, and I was actually knocked off the internet. So, disclaimer, I'm not sure how this thing's going to go today. Um, and let me check some of my settings here just to make sure that everything is going okay. Okay, on my mic, got that going all right. Okay, whew. I'm not a fan of thunderstorms when I'm trying to do electronic type stuff. So usually when this sort of thing happens, I'm unplugging stuff in the house. So pray that we can get through this half hour of cartooning. And today's going to be very fun, I hope, if we can make it through all this thing. What I'm going to do is a caricature of Casting Crown's current drummer, Brian Scoggin. And he's been a great friend of the Reasons for Hope ministry. And Carl Kirby's known him for a number of years, and he knows the whole band. And so today I thought that I would do a caricature of Brian Scoggin. So let's get going into it. Now, because of copyright, I can't show the photo because I don't have the ownership of the photo. So those of you that don't know what Brian looks like are going to have to either look it up online as we do this, or you can kind of wait and see how this turns out. And I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to turn out myself. I've met Brian just for a few minutes before a concert here a couple years ago, and what an important concert that was for me. So let's see. This always doing live caricatures like this is always an interesting thing because you see the ones that are produced that you see online. Usually those are done in the studio, and the caricature artist can take their time. And but I'm going to do this live and hope that I can hit it on the head. Hit not Brian on the head, but the likeness. I mean, I try to go for a likeness. And I'm trying to look at. Oh, I wish I could show you the photo, but yeah, let's scooch this artwork down a little bit. We're going to need some more room on the top. Oh, you know what? I'm not showing the drawing yet. Okay, let's fix that. There we go. Okay. Oh, tell you, I get all mixed up with all the lightning and thunder and stuff that's going on, and I get a little frazzled. And then you're supposed to go on live with this huge boom that happened. Okay, Brian has got a very distinct head of hair. And so whenever I say what I'm going to say here, it's not an insult at all. But Brian, you're a good caricature subject. And so, tell you, being startled doesn't give a good start to a caricature. So let's say I want to estimate his eye line here, center of his face here. If you guys can hear it raining outside, but and these past couple weeks have been very, very interesting for me. I haven't been able to do the online thing live because the first week that I missed, I was away at a camp speaking. And so I love to do camp ministry. And So that was really fun. It was a camp in Wisconsin called Fairwood. And I spoke 9 times to a group of 3rd and 4th graders, although there were some campers that were younger. And little kids, younger kids anyway, are a fun group. I like to deal with them and talk with them and entertain them. Donald Duck, my Donald Duck voice, made an appearance that week. And so then after I finished that, I came back home, and all kinds of things have been keeping me busy. We actually went to the Kentucky Horse Park the following week, and so I was away that time too. And I actually have a pre-recorded video of the last drawing that I did live. And let's see, what was it? It was a snapping turtle, I think. And we just haven't been able to post that yet, so that'll be coming sometime down the road here. So, but I'm trying to get the features kind of laid out here with Brian's face, and if I get to meet him again, I hope he doesn't kill me. Don't hold it against me anyway. I don't think he will. He's a nice guy. He's a very excellent speaker, and I look forward to hearing him speak live sometime. I've not heard him speak live yet. So, again, a caricature is not necessarily an insult. You're trying to have fun with the features, and you're trying to capture the likeness and all of that. But just because you're kind of having some fun with a face does not mean that you're in it for an insult or something like that. I think it's great fun to have your caricature drawn. I have a collection of artists that have drawn my caricature through the years, and it just to see the differences and how you look, how you've changed, is kind of interesting. So I think that kind of is a good start. Let's what I'm going to do now that I've got everything kind of blocked in is I'm going to drop that back so the opacity is going to be lighter. And wow, it's we've got a typhoon going on outside right now. So hopefully this again will stay online. But I'm going to go into a different, let's see, label that sketch layer right there. And then we're going to go with some inks. I'm going to zoom in a bit. See if I can match the details. If you are watching and you want to kind of chime in, and if you have do you have a Casting Crowns favorite song? They're one of my favorite Christian bands, and I'm not just saying that because I'm drawing one of the members. They've got a number of songs that will reduce me to tears at times. They just mean so much. I love the writing in their music, and they capture real life and real feelings. And I don't want to, give the impression that praise music and that sort of music is not worthwhile, because it is very much worthwhile, and and valuable to the Christian life. But I find a lot of real life situations in Casting Crowns music. Let's see, I'm going to change that line a little bit. Again, I wish you guys could see the photo reference that I'm working from. Just trying to capture the spirit of the shapes that I see in the face. And I'm not... Ooh, water lightning bolt. I grew up in a house with an electrician. And whenever there was a thunderstorm, particularly at nighttime, phone would ring. My dad would answer the phone and off he would go. So there were times where I was in the house with my brother, and Dad's going off to work to help restore power in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So let's see. We'll go. I like more detail stuff first, and then I go back or not bigger details. Like I'll finish the teeth later, but let's go in and get some of these bigger shapes. Again, thick and thin lines are something that help give the caricature some life and interest. You guys hear those thunderstorms in the background? The thunder and lightning and stuff. Ugh. So anyway, we would, as a family, we had a practice of unplugging stuff in the house because my dad knows the damage that, surges caused by lightning strikes can do. So we've had people over our house before. I think of a certain circumstance where that happened. And we were showing them a video. Had them over. It was a Sunday afternoon after church. And this storm just came out of nowhere. And yeah, there it is. And the video got shut off and the TV was unplugged, and we scurried around the house just shutting stuff down, and our guests were like, what's going on? They had never seen anyone do stuff like that before. So, which kind of ironically, I think it was not all that long later. In fact, even a couple instances, I think that their house was hit by lightning a couple times, and I think they lost some stuff in those lightning strikes. And so, as much as we got laughed at, I think people could benefit from being a little more cautious with thunderstorms and such, especially with the technology and things that people have these days. When I was growing up, our house in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, we didn't have a ton of technology, TV and some stereo equipment or something, but it was nothing like today. So Brian, I hope this is, if you watch this, just know I'm like, my nerves are a little fried at the moment. I mean, just alone drawing someone that's well known, drawing a caricature live. If you guys know me, it's not a cakewalk in the park drawing caricatures. I've done it a lot, but there's a lot of little things that kind of have to go right for something to really like come together. And sometimes it's how you feel on a given day. And I've had live caricature moments at the Caricature Museum or different places like that, and something will happen and it'll just throw you off. And So I just sometimes you think, man, God's got a sense of humor because it is going to town out there right now, and I'm drawing a person. Not that I want to be embarrassed in front of anybody, but you know, I remember one time a football player, NFL football player, came to the Creation Museum, and he really, oh hi, got some people checking in. Kenny Lee, hi, and Callum, thanks for letting me know. This NFL player came in, and I didn't recognize him. I didn't know who he was really, but some people will identify themselves as such, and he quickly did. He had a girlfriend that was very pretty, and so he sat down and wanted me to draw their caricatures, and they were all excited and stuff, and boy, my heart started beating, and I did the best I could, but and here's another thing too that's might seem kind of odd, but like pretty ladies are scary to me. Just women are a challenge. Females tend to be a challenge sometimes, and I joke with people about that because I tell people that men and women are certainly different. There's another one, certainly different, and it's funny because you sit down to draw somebody, and women will tell you up front, okay, this is how you're going to make me look. Do this, do this, do this. They've got this list of things. Don't do this, do this, make me look this. This should be this way. So they've got all these instructions, right? Because they go through that every morning. They go to the mirror and they're doing that whole thing. And so and this is a tendency, not all of them, but so ladies tend to have that, like, this is how I'm going to turn out. And women tend to be pessimists too. When they go to the mirror, they're not like, wow, look at that. They're like, ooh, I got to fix this and this and this. So that they're real conscious they tend to be real conscious. 1001, 1002. But boy, you know what? That hair didn't turn out real well, and I'm going to redo that. I shouldn't have zoomed in too much. I zoomed in too much, and sometimes that can get you into trouble with digital artwork. We should check my blood pressure right now. All right, so the top didn't turn out too bad. It was just that the curls got a little much. So let's keep this back there. That's better. I had kind of an idea in my mind what this was the hair part was gonna look like when this first started, and then the storm came and kind of blew everything up for me. So, but anyway, the ladies tend to have this idea of it's a preconceived, this is what I should look like type of thing. And guys, when they sit down, they tend to be optimists. They look good, and so all of that. So they will tell you things after you've drawn them. So maybe it doesn't meet their expectations of what their optimistic view of themselves looks like. Okay, so now that we've inked it, I'm going to attempt to, in the last 10 minutes, to color this. And this broadcast, my local time is it started at 2:30, this thing. And the storm is supposed to go till 3 o'clock. So just right, just fit it just right. For those of you that have seen any caricatures that I've drawn online, another really iffy thing about drawing caricatures live is that, and particularly ones where they're not like this sprint, like the live ones that you draw when you go to a amusement park or something. the I'm pretty picky, and studio ones, I have a tendency to be able to, well, I can go in and draw them again, and I can trace over it again if I don't like how it turned out. This is a one-shot type of deal, so I am trying to get it as best I can, and not hopefully not look back at it and go, oh. I did a caricature of Aaron Rodgers once, and this wasn't all that long ago. And for those of you that know me, I'm not a Green Bay Packers fan, but I do have lots of relatives that are, and friends that are Packer fans. And so I thought, well, I'll draw Aaron Rodgers. And so I did. And it turned out really kind of nice. I hadn't drawn a caricature in a while. And that's another factor, too. If you're warmed up and all of that, the caricatures will turn out better. But so I drew this caricature, and then the next day I went back to it and I went, oh, I don't like that at all. And so it took me like 2 or 3 times to get it down to the place where I was like, yeah, I really like that. Artwork is so much more satisfying when you as an artist can look at it and it makes you smile. There's something satisfying about it, instead of, looking at it going, oh, I could change this, I could change this, I could change this. Which that's kind of the curse of the artist, is we always want to, it's never good enough. So, let me, I gotta get rid of the sketches underneath too. So, Brian, I hope that isn't too bad. He's got red hair, and let's see. I'm going to color in his eyebrows a little bit. There we go. So any favorite, let's see, from one artist to another, you're making quite an expressive caricature. Yeah, he's got a very, I mean, if you looked at the reference, that's his mouth. I exaggerate a little bit, but he's got a great smile. So let's go in and color the teeth. Well, just whiten the teeth anyway. And I think the artists do these speed painting things a lot because they realize the audience just doesn't want to stick around for the long process of the finished artwork, because it's got a friend that's messaging me right now. I'll have to get back to him after this. But watching art sometimes it takes time. It doesn't just all happen. And so it's easier to capture an audience and just play the video fast rather than playing it at real speed. So this is real speed. And then let's see, Brian has lighter skin. So let's give him some rendering a little bit. I'll pick my airbrush tool, and then I'll try to paint in some of the light. Give the face some form. Okay, so the planes of the face are something that are very important to learn as artists, because that affects how the light hits the form and the top. The parts of the face, it's interesting too, because you notice the parts of your face that get sunburned a lot. That's the parts that are facing the sun more. And so if you look at your photo and you see the lighter sections where the sun or the light is brightest on your face, that's the kind of a breakdown of the planes of your face. And so it's those planes that are more directly facing the sun that get burned most. And if you pay attention to those planes, then you can shape the face when you're painting it like this. Some parts go away from the light, and those are the darker parts. And And there's other shapes inside the general shape of the face. Excuse me. And then there's some darker sections of the face. Now we're coming down to our last few minutes here. And I'll change the color a little bit. Try to give them some. The light skin like this tends to be pinkish, but there's all kinds of different skin colors in skin. And but again, he tends to have lighter skin. So sometimes different monitors. That's another challenge too about digital art, is sometimes different monitors look differently. So let's go for some. All right, and then I think, let's see. I think he's got blue eyes, but it's kind of hard to tell from the photo. That's another thing too. If you ever have, I've said this before, but if you ever have an artist draw your caricature and you give them a photo to do it, make sure that the artist can clearly tell the different parts of the face, because I think some people just assume, hey, he's an artist, he can just, take this little blob of a reference photo and he'll figure it out. He knows faces and all that. Well, some of that might be, I don't want to say true. I mean, we know face anatomy, and yeah, we've drawn faces and stuff. But as far as like capturing a look, the clearer the face, the better the caricature will turn out. Because if we've never seen this person before, and we're only going on the impression from a photograph that might be a poor photograph, then that's not a good thing. Even if you're an experienced artist, you can't invent information. All right, so I want to draw some of the hair detail now. Try to give some form to that very flat-looking mass of hair. Flat right now because it's just, oops, let's see, I gotta change my brush a little bit, give it a harder edge, and yeah, there we go. Just kind of scribbling around, he's got very curly hair, so. But again, this side is more the shadow side, and so I'm trying to draw some of the darker. It's darker back here too. All right. If I had more time, I could make a scene, of him like playing the drums or something, but we'll looks like the storm has sort of settled down, so it'll take me a while to settle down after this whole thing. So drawing live caricatures is quite the adventure. This will be one for the books for sure. All right, so that's some of the darker areas of his hair. In fact, I could probably fill in more solid areas down here in the back. Kind of give like a gradation of line thickness to give some more form. It's very dark back there. But then as you come up to the front, and then kind of on the sides of his head a little bit, so there's some shadow in there because of just the way the hair forms around the head. So, and then I'll pick a lighter color over here, and then up on top, he's got the light from the sun. The light source is hitting up here, and so it's making it lighter. And then there's some light on the side here, kind of mixing with the shadow. So this is a fun way to get the feeling of some form. Pay attention to what the mid-tone is. And that's the orange that I started with underneath that flat orange. And then pick a shadow color and then find out where the shadows are and then put those in. And then draw in highlights over the top of that. And you can get this feeling of form. And we are running out of time here, so for those of you that have been following me over the last while, be looking for that other video of the Snapping Turtle inks that I'm going to, oops, a little dark. I'm going to post that at some point. I've tried to do it a couple times and just it hasn't worked out. Let me see if I can get some more darker detail in the face just to help some things out a little bit. Maybe like that right there. And then he has some other facial detail here, some like dimples, I guess. Right there. And then the upper lip. And there's a little shadow under his nose. There's more shadows in here just because of the shapes. All right. So I'm going to take away some of that a little bit. Fix that up. And then there's, of course, shadow under the head. So that on that line on for this shape area of on the neck will help separate that out. And then if I back up a little bit, well, we don't have much room to put any kind of a indication of a shirt here, but I'm going to draw a little bit. He is wearing kind of a blue-gray, so we'll do that on another layer. Well, the thunderstorm drawing caricature version of Brian Scoggin. I think I survived it, and Brian, I hope you, if you see this, that you survive watching this drawing. But thank you for the work that you've done for Reasons for Hope and for Casting Crowns too. I know you guys just go to a lot of places, and it seems like you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, but it means so much to so many people. And that last concert that I saw you guys at 2 years ago was like healing medicine to me. I was going through a particular thing at that time, and wow, it was the song Only Jesus. Yes. For anybody watching this, check that song out. So, Brian Scoggin. Drawn by Dan Lietha. 2021. All right, so there it is. I made it through the storm. Let's see. We've got a comment here. It says, God bless you, keep up the good work, and read the Psalms. Yep, that's good advice. Good stuff in there. So thanks for watching, and something like this. There we go. Thanks for watching, and check us out next time. And go to the Reasons for Hope website. Download our app if you've got a device like a phone or something, and you want to see a lot of our content. Type in Reasons for Hope, look for the asterisks, hit that, and download the app, and then you have access to a ton of materials. You'll have my cartoons, some of the draw note videos. We're going to get all of that stuff up there eventually, but a lot of the speakers' talks from Juan Valdez and Carl Kirby and other speakers that we have. So be sure to check that out. But anyway, thanks for joining me today. Have a good weekend. Bye.